A new court filing from the Russia special counsel's team that for the very first time connects the charges against Paul Manafort with the campaign he ran, the Trump campaign. Remember, as far as the president is concerned, not only do the charges have nothing to do with his campaign, he practically suggests his former campaign chairman had nothing to do with his campaign.
I feel badly about a lot of them because I think a lot of it's very unfair. I mean, I look at some of them where they go back 12 years. Like Manafort has nothing to do with our campaign. But I feel I tell you, I feel a little badly about it. They went back 12 years to get things that he did 12 years ago. You know, Paul Manafort worked for me for a very short period of time. He worked for Ronald Reagan. He worked for Bob Dole. He worked for John McCain, or his firm did. He worked for many other Republicans. He worked for me, for 49 days or something? A very short period of time.
It was a pretty big job, but it was longer than that. In any case, things changed late today. CNN's Sarah Murray has the breaking news for us. Sarah, the Mueller team says that Manafort's bank fraud trial does have a campaign connection. What can you tell us about that?
That's right. They put out a new court filing tonight, which is where we're getting these new details. And we didn't expect that Manafort's role in the Trump campaign was going to be really featured in the trial that he was facing. It has to do with financial crimes. It has to do with foreign lobbying allegations that he's facing. But Mueller's team basically said, look, we intend to present evidence that a banker helped Paul Manafort secure more than $6 million in loans while seeking a position within the Trump campaign, and that this person eventually went on to become an advisor to the Trump campaign and to try to get a role in the administration, although they were not capable of doing it. So here's how that fits in. Prosecutors have alleged that Paul Manafort used false information to get mortgages. Then he turned around and used that mortgage money as free income. And they're saying, you know, we need to explain how he was able to continue to get these loans. And the reason, at least in this case, they say he was able to get these loans despite the dubious loan application was because the banker who was helping him get the money had some personal ambitions of his own.
Sarah, Manafort's counsel also asked the judge to move the trial from Alexandria, Virginia to Roanoke. What's that about?
That's right. They want to move the trial to Roanoke. They also put out another filing tonight saying they don't want his Virginia trial to start until after the trial in Washington, D.C. is concluded. So this could stretch on for a while if the judge decides to grant these requests. But in terms of changing the area where the trial is actually going to happen, the first trial that's in Virginia, Manafort's team is arguing that it's so saturated around Washington, D.C. in the Beltway that there's no way he could get a fair trial, an impartial jury in Alexandria, Virginia. And they're saying we should move it over to Roanoke. They also pointed out the way these two areas voted in the last election and said that Alexandria overwhelmingly voted for Hillary Clinton for president. And because the nation is so partisan right now, particularly in the areas surrounding the Beltway, that people's political views, the way that they voted, could ultimately play into how they decide a case about Paul Manafort, who worked on the Trump campaign.
Sarah Murray, great to have you tonight. Thanks so much.